Welcome everyone. I think everyone's been here before except for Sheila. Welcome. I'll just repeat this, that this is your practice, this is for your body. Don't do anything that hurts, but know that you'll be doing things that might feel like, whoa, I haven't done that for a long time, right? So that's okay, but you don't want to cause pain. So nothing to cause pain. If we're doing something that you think, nah, that doesn't go in my body, don't do it. Okay, this is what's lovely about a mature class. We all are at that point where we know what fits for us and what doesn't, and we're not going to do anything that's going to hurt ourselves. So just continue to be aware of that as we move through our practice. So the other thing is, I've been watching that woman again that I watched a long time ago. And you can find her on YouTube, Yoga Vista. And so I'm going to start incorporating a bit more. She's a bit more active, so I'm going to incorporate a bit more of her stuff into the class. Not all of it today, but through time, because I like her stuff and I haven't been able to find her for a while. So we start in mountain pose, and for those of you that are new, we're working at stretching and strengthening and balance in our bodies, but we're also working at calming the nervous system. So we want to be able to build up resilience of our nervous system because of what's going on around us in the world and what's going on in our own lives. And so if we can build that nervous system resilience, then we're going to manage better in the world that we live in at any time, but specifically today or these days. And also brain, there's a number of exercises and things that I do that are for optimizing brain function. So we're working at nervous system resilience and building brain function as well as everything else. Okay, so we start off in our chair mountain, our seated mountain pose. And seated mountain, we want our feet to be hip width apart. And we want to feel them on the floor. So if you are shorter and you need a block, let me know. There's maybe not another block today, but I can bring one if you think you might need one. We want to get the sense or find the alignment in our body of shoulders over our hips when we're sitting, and then our ears over our shoulders. So we're just kind of getting that sense. I find when I close my eyes for a moment, I can kind of feel that alignment settle into my body. Shoulders are relaxed down, so we don't have to hold our shoulders up. We don't have to sit tall by lifting the shoulders. We're sitting taller by pressing our feet into the floor, and that's helping us lift up. So in that lifting up, it comes from the chest, from the heart center as well. So you want to feel that little lift here. And it's an interesting thing. When we do something that feels in our body feels uplifting, it helps us to feel emotionally uplifted. So we're lifting the heart, we can look up with our eyes as well when we're wanting to lift our spirits. But right now we're just lifting the heart up, and then we're relaxing our hands on our legs. And then we're going to close our eyes. And we're going to settle into how this posture feels in our body right now. So it may feel comfortable and usual for many of you that have been here for a while. It may feel new and different for those of you who haven't, and that's okay. We're here to try something new and different. And this is improving our postures as well. So from here, we can start to bring our attention to our breath. So we're just noticing to begin with our breathing, how we're breathing. And you might notice maybe that your breath wants to get stuck on its way down. It kind of gets stuck at the chest level and it doesn't go any further. And that's pretty common when we're breathing in an anxious way, when we're in that fight or flight mode. So just noticing if that's happening or not. Noticing if it feels difficult, if you try to take in a deep breath, what happens. So if you inhale, notice how that feels. And then exhale out. But for now, we're going to go back to just bringing attention to the breath. And the first place that we can start with the attention is at our nose. So when we inhale, we feel the breath. We inhale, we feel the breath, the cool air coming in through the nose. And then as we exhale, the air is warmer, and we're feeling that air warmer coming out through the nose. So just focusing on that cool air coming in and that warm air going back out. And we can also focus on the belly, we can focus on the chest when we're expanding and going into the breath a bit deeper. But we want to keep our attention on one focus at a time. So if you want to switch and imagine or feel the chest as you're inhaling, the chest expanding, or the belly expanding, that's okay too. But just focus on one of those three. I'm just going to take a moment or two to breathe in and out. And continue to notice the breath. And what you'll find is that as we continue that focus on the breath, that our breathing actually starts to slow down, and that's what we want. We want to start to slow the breath down to bring that sense of relaxation and rest into the body. And we can make that an even deeper relaxation practice by breathing into the count of 4 and breathing out to the count of 6. So by extending the exhalation a little bit longer than the inhalation, it brings us into what is actually called the relaxation response. It takes us out of that parasympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight, and into the relax and restore, that sympathetic nervous system. So let's do 5 of those breaths where we're inhaling to the count of 4, and I'm going to let you go at your own pace, and exhaling to the count of 6. Yeah, 2 more. And as you come to the end of this final exhalation, just allow yourself to come back to what is your normal or natural rhythm of breathing. And just take a moment to notice the difference. Notice how you feel now coming back to your natural rhythm of breathing compared to when you started out with the breathing practice today. Beautiful. Okay, let's open our eyes and come back into the space, and we're just going to take a moment to orient ourselves to where we are, to reorient ourselves to the space. And so we look around the room, we see what's in the room with us, we notice the people that are here, the colors. Beautiful. Okay. All right, arms down at the side, and we'll make this seated mountain into a moving mountain. So we're going to begin by bringing our arms, palms out, all the way up if you can. If your shoulders don't allow you to bring your arms up all the way, then just bring them up as far as feels right for you. And then we're going to exhale and bring them back down. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to add something else. We're going to bring them up, bring the hands together. Let's look up. And then we're going to exhale. The hands are going to come down the center of the body. And as the hands come down, the chin's going to come down. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to change it up again. We're going to inhale, come up. You can look up again. And this time we're going to bring the hands out and back down along the side. Lovely. And you can bring your chin down again too, if you like. Inhaling up. And this time we're going to bring those hands together, and we're going to exhale them down the front of the body, all the way down. Beautiful. And we might tuck the chin as we come down. And let's do one more. Let's reach up nice and long. Reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Turn the hands out and bring the hands all the way back down. Lovely. And then we're going to just bring the hands back to the legs and just pause for a moment and notice the sensations. Notice how that feels after that little bit of movement in the arms. Wonderful. So let's start with our left ankle. Let's do some circles with our feet around our ankle. Now you can do it nice and slow, or you can do it nice and fast, but try different ways of doing it. Try, if you're used to doing your rotations really fast, slow the movement down. If you're used to going slow, speed it up. And then we're going to go around in the other direction. Wonderful. And then let's just bring that foot down, pause for a moment, and just notice the sensations. So you might notice that already the ankle feels a bit warmer, might feel a bit warmer up your leg, up your shin or your calf muscle. So this rotation of the joints is bringing more blood flow into the joints, and it's increasing synovial fluid too, which is that fluid that helps ease or give ease to our joints a bit, so our joints aren't so stiff and sore. Let's do the right foot, same thing. Just turning it around, getting into that ankle. And then when you're ready, turn it and go around in the other direction. Beautiful. And then let's bring that foot to rest. Pause and notice now you're getting some movement up into that leg as well. So there's some warmth rising up the leg. Let's do a point and flex with our feet. Point and flex. See if when you flex your feet, you can make your toes wider, so stretch your toes apart. And then when you point, the toes will come together. And you flex and the toes are wide, and you point and the toes come together. Let's do 3 more. Nice wide toes and then point, and nice wide toes, point, and nice wide toes and point, and then release those down. Beautiful. Okay. All right, the knee wants some activity, so we're going to just take one leg at a time and swing that leg. And again, this can be, if you slow the movement down, you're going to feel the use of the muscles a little bit different than if you move that knee or that leg faster. And remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath when you're doing it. Okay, let's do a couple more. All right, and let's bring that knee or that foot down to the floor. Rest the knee for a moment. Notice the sensations in the leg. So that warmth is now moved up into the knee and up to the upper leg. And let's do the same with the other leg. So we're just getting everything ready to do a bit more movement when we get up and do some standing stuff. We're getting the body ready. Okay, let's do 3 more. And then pause that foot down on the floor. Now let's take a moment. This is the pause between the movements. We're going to close our eyes for just a moment or so. Take a nice breath in and out and notice the sensations in the legs. So this is something that's called interoceptive awareness, where we go inside and we get a sense of how that movement has made a difference in the body. We're getting more deeply connected with the body. Okay, beautiful. All right, so we're going to scoot forward a bit, and we're going to do this hip thing again today with our knee, where we bring our knee up, and then we bring it out to the side. Yeah, that's it. And then we bring it back in and down. And we bring it up and out and back and down. Up and out and back and down. Let's do 3 more. Okay, 2. And last one. Beautiful. Okay, rest that leg. Notice the hip. Notice the energy moving in and around the hip joint now. Wonderful. Okay, let's do the other side. Up and out and back and down. Up and out and back and down. 3 more times. Out, back and down. Up and out and back and down. And last one. And down. Nice. Okay. Let's pause again and just notice the sensation in the hips. So we close our eyes, take a breath in and out. Notice how the hips are feeling. Take a nice deep breath in and let it out. Wonderful. Okay, and then our next one is a rotation in the hips and the pelvis. So we're just gonna allow ourselves to circle around the pelvis. And so we come forward in the front of the pelvis. We can feel one sit bone as we come to the side, and then the back of the pelvis and the other sit bone and the front. And just notice where you are in that movement as you circle around the pelvis. Now it can be a big movement or it can be just a little tiny movement. Okay, and then if you haven't already, switch direction, go the other way. That's it. Wonderful. Okay, a couple more rounds here, and then we'll come back up to stillness, up to sitting. Beautiful. All right. And just pause again. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice the sensations in the body. All right. Okay, so this is the new piece I'm adding in today. So it's called the mirror exercise. So we're going to bring our hand up in front of us, and it's like a mirror. And we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. I'm going to take that mirror and I'm going to bring it around to the side, and I'm going to look at myself in the mirror as I come to the side. Ooh, I got a little click in my back, and then I'm going to come back to center. Okay, let's do that again. Bring the hand out to the side, follow it with your eyes, and then come back to center, following the hand. Staring at yourself in the mirror. Let's do 2 more. Haven't looked better, hey? Okay. Yeah. Mirror, mirror on the wall. And then let's do 1 more. And then come back and bring it down. Okay, pause for a moment. Just notice the sensations in that arm. Okay, so we're doing a couple of things here. We're working with a little twist in the spine, and we're also moving our head and our neck. So we're getting some exercise into the head and the neck as well, or the neck and the shoulders and arms. Okay, here we go. Other mirror comes up in front of us. We take a breath in, exhale out, follow the mirror with our eyes, inhale back in. Exhale out, follow the mirror, and come back to center. And again. And back to center. And let's do 2 more times. Inhaling out, or inhaling, exhaling out. And coming back to center. And exhaling out. Beautiful. And then come back to center. And bring that hand down. Pause for a moment, notice the sensations. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's bring our shoulders in a little bit more. So we're going to do 3 shoulder type of rolls. And we're going to start off first with just bringing the shoulders up and back. So let's just do a couple of these. The shoulders come up and back and down. Okay, now we're going to bring the shoulders up and back and down. And then the next one we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands up to our shoulders, and we're going to bring the elbows back. So let's do a couple of circles like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring both arms up and back. Both arms up and back. Okay, so now we're going to do the 3 moves together. So we're going to do shoulders. And then we're going to bring our hands up to our shoulders and do the elbows. And then we're going to do the whole arm. Beautiful. So shoulders, hands up to the shoulders, elbows back, and then the arms. Nice work, everyone. And one more. Shoulders, hands to shoulders, and elbows go back. And then one more with the arms. Beautiful. Okay, let's pause here. Notice the sensations. Take a breath in and out. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to come up to standing, but we're going to do, we used to do this a while back. We used to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1 blast off. Remember that one, Marcia? That was one of my first ones I did. Okay, so we're going to do that. So we're going to come up and down to standing. Now, if this bothers your knees, don't do it. But I'll show you first, and then you can follow me after. So we're just going to come up to standing. I'm using my hands on my knees to support me. And then I'm going to come back down. Okay, so, and then we're going to do that 10 times is a lot of times. Do you think that's too many? What do you think? Let's do. We can do it. You think we can do it? Okay, let's do 10 times. And so on the 10th one, when we come up, we're going to go blast off. Okay, we're going to pretend we're little toddlers and we're having a good time. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice work, everyone. 6. Whew. Remember to breathe. 8, 9. Okay, you guys ready? 10. Blast off! Woo! Okay, nice work. Okay, it's not laughter yoga. You're lucky. Okay. All right, let's come to standing. And the first thing we're going to do, if I can find my notes again, there they are. They blasted off with me. Okay. All right. Let's come into our standing mountain. So this is where we stand with our feet hip-width apart. Now, remember, I like to remind us, if you haven't heard this from me already, we're going from the hip bone down. That's hip-width apart. As women, we tend to think our hips are way out here, but they aren't. They're right here. These hip bones are right here. So hip distance, I can't say that very well, hip-width apart. Okay. Now, we're going to relax the knees a little bit, and we're going to see if we can get that same alignment in our body that we had with our seated mountain. We want to have shoulders over hips, hips over ankles now, so we're bringing the ankles into it, and then we want to add the ears. So ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, okay? And if you can, bring that chin parallel to the floor. We're not lifting the chin up or dropping it down, it's parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Nice work, everyone. Okay. Relax the shoulders down if they aren't already relaxed down. Nice. And then we're just going to stand here for a moment and bring our attention actually down to the feet and into the base of the big toe, the outer edge of the little toe, and the center of the heel. So that's the 3 points of balance in the foot. So if we can imagine ourselves pressing down into those 3 points, that's really going to provide stability into our stance. Okay? So closing your eyes now, take a couple breaths here. And imagine that at those 3 points at the base of your feet that there are roots that are going down, down, down into the ground. And those roots are going to hold us nice and strong. I know trees don't have roots, but we're imagining, or trees have roots, mountains don't have roots, but we're imagining that we do have these roots going out of the base of our feet into the ground. So now, if somebody came up to you and gave you a little push, you might kind of go like this, but you're not going to fall over. And the longer that you practice that for, and you imagine that groundedness into the earth, the less likely that somebody would be able to just push you off kilter. So we're really feeling that connection to the earth. And then we're imagining that there's this string attached to the crown of our head, and it's lifting us up nice and long and tall. So we're now reaching up to the heavens above us, if you want the clouds or the heavens or the sky. And now we're grounded between then heaven and earth. We've got that groundedness with our feet and that reaching up into space. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then opening your eyes, now we're going to make this into that moving mountain once again. So we're going to inhale and bring the arms up. And then we're going to exhale and bring them back down. Okay. And let's bend our knees a little bit, and as we come up, we bring the arms up and we lengthen through the legs. Beautiful. And then come down. So we can add our chin in, so the chin can come down, the knees bend slightly. And then we come up, and then we look up to the skies. And then we exhale down, and the chin comes down, the knees relax a bit. And then one more time, let's reach up. This time when we're up here, let's just reach as long as we can. Keep our shoulders down, reach up as high as you can, stretching, stretching, stretching. And then exhaling and bringing the arms back down. Beautiful. Nice work. Okay, so let's just get a little bit of movement into the body here. Shake everything out. Okay. All right, let's bring our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're just going to sway from side to side. Bringing a little bit of attention into our balance. And you might even come over and go, oh, I could actually stand on this foot for a moment, and then come back to the other side. Oh. Well, maybe not for you, Arlene. You'll get it. All right, beautiful. Okay, give the legs a shake. Nice work. Okay, so now we're going to do downward facing dog at the chair, with our chair. So this is actually a supported downward facing dog. So you want to have room behind you. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do downward facing dog and upward facing dog. Okay, so to start with, we're going to stand behind our chair. Our hands are on the back of the chair. And then we're going to start to walk ourselves back. So walk your feet back until you're in a place where you can start to bring the upper body forward. Now, what we're working towards is the ears in between the arms. So the upper body comes parallel to the floor. That's what you're working towards. That doesn't mean you have to be there right now. And once we're here, we're going to see if we can extend out through our sit bones. So we're going to lengthen the side of the body and reach those hips back, those sit bones back. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. So you're really feeling the lengthening on the side body and the stretch, a little bit of a stretch in the lower back because you're reaching those hips away from you. Let's do one more breath. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to look up
And we're going to start to walk ourselves back to the chair.
Nice. And then we're just going to allow the body, just let everything to fall back into place once you're standing back in that mountain pose. Hold on to the chair if you need to, and close your eyes and just go inside. Take a notice as to how that lengthening of the body, opening space in between the ribs, in between the waist and the hip, feeling that stretch in the underarm. Just notice how it feels in the body now. Okay. We're wanting to increase those spaces between our ribs. Those intercostal muscles need some stretch and movement because they can get really tight and they impede our ability to breathe. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so in upward facing dog, we're just going to start first by just coming up on our toes and then coming back down. So you can lean forward as you come on your toes. Just make sure your chair doesn't slide out from underneath you like mine just did. A little, okay. Do that a few more times. And you can even, when you come back down, go back on your heels a bit because you're holding on to the chair. And then you can come up on your toes. And then heels. And toes. And heels. Okay, let's bring the toes back to the floor. And then with your hands on your chair, you're just going to come forward a little bit as if you're reaching the heart and the belly towards the chair a bit. You're lifting the heart and reaching or allowing the body to drop towards the chair. You've seen your dogs or cats do this. I call it the cat stretch. They call it the upward facing dog. Where they're giving that nice, making their spines nice and long and lifting their hearts. Beautiful. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful, and then relax and just let it go. Okay, let's just shake everything out a bit. Do a little bit of bouncing maybe to loosen everything up. Wonderful. Now we're going to need some space so we can come out in front of our chairs because we're going to do warrior. Okay, so for warrior, we're going to start with our left foot, and we're going to step that left foot forward in whatever distance feels good for you. The important thing is, when you step your foot forward, you step it forward and keep those feet hip-width apart, because that's going to help with your balance. If I try to do this, it's not going to be so easy. Okay, so that foot's hip-width apart. That back foot, I'm turning mine in slightly. You don't have to. You can have your toe out a bit. We want both hips facing forward. Okay, so now what we're going to do that cross work. So we're going to do right arm with left leg. So we're going to inhale, and as we inhale, the right arm comes up and the left knee bends. And then we exhale and come back down. And that leg straightens. So we're inhaling and bending that knee and reaching up and pressing back into the floor with that back foot. And arm comes down. And inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling down. Let's do one more. Inhaling up. And actually you can look up when you come to the top and exhale back down and straighten that leg and follow the arm down. Now this time we're going to come up for one last time and we're going to bring the other arm with it if it's there for you, if you feel balanced and that you can do it. Okay, shoulders are relaxed down. And look up if you like. And let's take 3 breaths here. So we're really using that back heel to ground us. Maybe just give a little lift to your toes to make sure they're not gripping the ground, the floor. Okay, inhale. And then exhale, the arms come down and the leg straightens. And then we step those feet back together and give the legs a shake. And the arms a shake too, if you like. Okay, wonderful. All right, now we're going to pause for a moment and just notice the sensations in the body. So we've worked on the left leg and the right arm. Just notice how that might have, feel like the body's imbalanced because we haven't done the same thing on the other side yet. Okay, all right, now we step the right foot forward, the left leg's back, pressing into the heel of that back foot. Okay, now this time, when we inhale, the left arm comes up as the right knee bends, and then we reach up. Beautiful. Everybody's doing a nice reach up. That's awesome. Instead of forward. Okay, inhaling up and looking up and exhaling down and following that hand down. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling up, following the hand up. And exhaling down as we lengthen the leg. Now, last one. Making sure that heel of the back foot is pressed into the floor, and then we exhale down. Okay, this is really the last one. Inhaling up. And then we're going to bring the other arm up with it. Relax the shoulders down. You can look up if you like, and take 3 breaths here. And then exhale, the arms come down, the leg lengthens. Beautiful, and we step the feet together and give everything a shake. Okay, now let's pause again for 1 moment. Take a breath in and out, close your eyes, and just notice how your body feels now that we've done that symmetrical movement. We've done both sides. Bringing everything back into symmetry. Wonderful. Okay. All right, let's come back down to seating. Sitting. I'll check what time it is. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's just take a moment to come back into our seated mountain and notice how that feels. So feet are on the floor, body, ears, shoulders, hips aligned. Chest is lifted a little bit, shoulders are relaxed, crown of the head nice and tall. Take a couple breaths here and just notice how you feel. Notice how the body feels different, possibly, this time in seated mountain than it did when we first started today. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. All right, let's do a little bit of a massage, and then we'll do a body scan and a resting pose. So we're going to start with just building the heat in our hands. Just warming the hands up as we're going to bring our hands over our eyes and start our massage in the face. And then when you feel like you've got enough heat, we're going to bring them over our eyes and just rest them here for a moment, taking a deep breath in and out. Wonderful. And then you can start your massage by bringing your fingers into your hairline and just doing a little bit of a massage into the hairline. It can feel really nice to kind of bring the fingers together in the center of the forehead and just draw them apart. And then do a little bit of a massage in the temple, in the temples. And then you can come down in front of the ears and the jaw. And up behind the ears a little bit. Into that spot where the head and the neck join, a little hollow spot on each side of the spine, below the skull. And we can come down those muscles on the side of the neck and into the shoulders. It can feel really nice to just bring the hands behind like this and just draw them forward. Give them a little bit of resistance. And then we can bring one hand resting in, one elbow resting in the other hand, and we can just start to massage a little bit more actually into that trapezius muscle. That would work better before we get to the shoulder. And then we can do circles around the shoulder. Then we can come down the bicep, the upper arm. That muscle can be really tight as well, so it's nice to dig into that a little bit. And then around the elbow. And the lower arm. And into the wrist. And down, I call them channels in the top of the hand, where you can come down into the webbing of the hand and the fingers and just pinch off the webbing a bit. Bring the energy, release stuck energy in there. And then we take each finger and we give it a nice little roll in between the thumb and forefinger. And just squeeze the end as you finish and give it a little pull. Inviting those fingers to wake up a little bit. Bringing more blood flow into the knuckles and the joints. And then finishing off with a circular movement in the palm of the hand. That's another great spot to massage to help bring calmness into the body and mind. And then let's just bring both hands down to the legs for a moment and pause and just notice the difference from one side to the other. Wonderful. And let's do the other side. So we work on that trapezius muscle a bit. We didn't go into the lymph glands. We'll do that next time today. But just getting that tension out of the trapezius muscle. And then around the shoulder. And down the upper arm. And around the elbow. And the lower arm. And the wrist. And then each channel on the top of the hand and pinching off the webbing. And rolling each finger, pinching it off. Wonderful. And then that circling in the palm of the hand. And then we're just going to rest the hands down on the legs when we're done. And if you like, you can just allow yourself now. We don't have to worry about the mountain pose. We don't have to worry about sitting upright or holding ourselves upright. We just let the chair hold us up for this last part of our practice. We're going to do I'm going to do a body scan for you, and then we'll just sit in silence for a couple of minutes. So just allowing yourself, this is that time too when the body is able to integrate everything we've done in our practice up until this point. So we need that resting pose at the end of our practice to allow the body to do that. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes once again, and bringing your attention back to your breath for a moment, just noticing your breath. And I'm just going to go through and invite you to bring your attention to different parts of the body, and that will support the mind to let go and relax. So we're going to start with our right foot. I'm going to start with the right foot, with the top of the right foot and the sole of the right foot. All 5 toes, the ankle, the calf, and the shin, the knee of that right leg, the thigh, and the hip. So that whole right leg, right from the foot all the way up to the hip. The whole right leg. And coming across to the left foot, the top of the foot, and the bottom of the foot. All 5 toes. The ankle, the shin and the calf, the knee, the upper leg, all the way up to the hip. That whole left leg, right from the foot all the way up to the hip. The whole left leg. And moving from the hips to the lower back, to the mid-back, up the spine, to the neck and shoulders, and where the spine joins and holds the head, the whole spine. And in the front of the pelvis, the pelvic bowl, the belly, the rib cage with the solar plexus in the center of it, the heart center and the chest, the collarbones, to the shoulders, bringing your attention to your right hand, the fingers of your right hand, the palm of your right hand, right wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder, the whole right arm, from the hands all the way up to the shoulder. And come across to the left side, the left shoulder, the left hand, all the fingers in the left hand, the palm of the left hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, and the shoulder. That whole left arm, right from the hand all the way up to the shoulder. And now noticing the back of the neck, noticing the throat and the front. The muscles in the jaw and the face relax and release. Muscles around the eyes, the right eye and the left eye. The nose, noticing your right ear and your left ear. The crown of your head, the back of your head. The whole body, right from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head, the whole body. I'm just going to put the timer on for a couple minutes. Just allow yourself to rest in this space you've created, and just allow the noise that's around you to support you to go even deeper into this rest. And if you find yourself being drawn back to moving back into your day, just allow yourself to come back to the breath, just like we started at the beginning with. Attention on the breath. And very slowly and gently bring your attention back to your breath, back into your body. You can begin to awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes, and then moving in whatever way feels right for you. Maybe a stretch would feel good. And then as you're ready, you can bring your hands to your heart if you like, and take a moment here to appreciate yourself for coming into this practice today, for coming into this community to practice. We know that in community, what we do here together, we take out into the world with us, so we're sharing it beyond this space. And an invitation, if you're comfortable, to bring your hands together, fingertips to the forehead, and just take a bow to yourself. Thank you, self, for getting me here today. And then in this group, we usually do a bow to each other. We acknowledge each person in the circle with us. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.